welcome to Parenting Hacks with Dr. Yanina, and this is episode 23. Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. As always, I'm very grateful to you for taking the time to watch this show. And as you know, this is a show in which I share one or two parenting hacks to help you be the mom that you're meant to be, to help you stay connected and communicate with your preteen or teen in a healthier way. So before I dive into this week's episode, I just want to say welcome to my family room. This video is kind of like more relaxing. I'm sitting on the floor just talking with you, and I hope that you enjoy today's episode. And as you know, for the past 2 episodes, I've been doing a series on the dangers of comparing our children, the dangers of comparing siblings. And today is part 3, which is the last part of this 3-video mini-series. So if you have not had a chance to watch episode 21 and 22, I really encourage you that you take the time to do that. Because on episode 21, I talk about why we should not be comparing our children. And I also talk about some of the consequences when we do that. And in episode 22, I share one parenting hack for parents who have children that are experiencing low self-esteem, which is one of the consequences of us comparing our children. So again, if you have not done so yet, I really encourage you to check out episode 21 and 22, either before or after you watch episode 23. So this week, I'm going to be sharing one more consequence as a result of us comparing our children. And as you see, comparing our children is really not a good thing. So this week's consequence is that when we compare our children, we are really setting up the stage for them to experience sibling rivalry. Yes, whether we do it intentionally or not, we're really setting up the stage and the environment for them to experience sibling rivalry. And I know this is kind of hard to understand because you're like, wait a minute, no, that's the last thing. I don't want them to be rivals. I want them to love each other. I want them to be close to each other. But if you think about it for a second, if you are telling your daughter that she needs to be like her sister over and over again, or if you're telling your son that he needs to behave like his older brother over and over again, what type of message are you sending? You're sending the message that in order for them to be good enough, they have to be like their brother or sister. Yes, so you're saying you're not good enough the way you are right now, and if you want to be good enough, you have to be or act like your brother or sister, or imitate your brother and sister if you want to be good enough. That's the message that we are sending to our children when we compare them. And that's why it's so crucial that if this is something that you do consciously or unconsciously, to just think about it and don't do it. So one of the things that I want to say too is that because we are telling them that they're not good enough and that we're telling them that their brother or sister is better, unintentionally or unconsciously, but that's kind of the message that we're saying, they are going to start growing resentment toward their brother or sister. So they're going to feel resentful because they're like, why I have to be like them to be who I want to be, or why they're better than me. So unconsciously we are setting up that environment in which they're going to start not liking each other, and the feeling will become so deep that it will become resentment. And we really don't want that, because when resentment is real between your children, then sibling arguments and sibling fights are going to start escalating, and it's going to get out of control if we're not very careful. They will argue more. They will fight more. They will not tolerate each other as much as they used to, perhaps. And they can be quite cruel with each other or toward each other. And that's something I'm sure you do not want to happen with your children. On the contrary, you want them to be close to each other, to support one another, right? That's what you want your children to be. So we have to be very careful when it comes to comparing our children. So if you're saying right now, you know what, darn it, I have a bad habit of comparing my kids, and this is something that I've been doing for a long time, and I don't like it. It just comes out. Well, let me tell you that you are watching the right episode. The truth is that we are humans. We make mistakes, but we also have the ability to correct our mistakes. That's why God gave us one day after the other. So we can start with a clean slate, identify the mistake we're making, and be intentional about not making it again. So here's this week's hack. Avoid making comparisons in front of your children. Avoid it at all costs. Do not compare them. Avoid making comparisons. And if you do compare them, because we are humans, we make mistakes, I want you to do two things for me. The first one is that I would like for you to apologize to your child. Say, son, I'm sorry, I compare you with your brother. That's not fair. That's not right. And I'm really working very hard to stop doing that because that's something that I should not be doing. It's not fair to you. And whether they tell you or not, believe me, they will be very grateful to you for saying that to them. So after you apologize to your child for comparing her or him with their sibling, I want you to go beyond that and give them permission to correct you next time you compare them with their sibling. So you can say it like this. You can say, hey son, I really want you to help me stop or get over this bad habit. So I want you to correct me each time I compare you with your brother or sister. But I want you to do it in a respectful way. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're just going to remind me that I shouldn't be comparing you with your brother or sister. And you have to be respectful because I'm still your mom. Yes, I do make mistakes, but I am mom. So a couple of examples that you can give them. Again, I mean, this is something new. You kind of have to give them the words for them to do it right. So one way it can be, hey mom, you told me to remind you not to compare me with my brother or not to compare me with my sister. So here I am reminding you. And another way that you can tell them to help you with this is that, hey mom, please don't compare me with my sister. I don't like when you do that. So, just give them the words so they know what to say and they understand that it's more like a reminder and they have to do it in a respectful way. But team up with your child and you will be surprised. They will feel very good about themselves when you trust them to help you with something that you are trying to get over or correct, a behavior that you're trying to correct. So yeah, team up with your child. That will be a good thing to do when it comes to shifting and stopping that habit if that's something that you are struggling with. So to sum it up for you, this week's parenting hack is stop the habit of comparing your children. Avoid it at all costs. So mom, there you have it. And before I let you go, if sibling arguments is a big issue in your family, your kids have been arguing too much and you are not very happy about that, I have a gift for you. I put together a sibling arguments guide and I want to give it to you. I want you to request a copy of it. So the truth is that when done correctly, and I'm going to say it again, when done correctly, sibling arguments can be a good thing. And you're like, what? Are you crazy? Have you been in my house? Keep in mind that I have two teenagers. I have a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. I know what sibling arguments are, and we experience them. I'm not a perfect mom. By all means, I'm not perfect. So I know what it is, which is because of them, because of their sibling arguments, I was able to come up with some ideas that I want to share with you when it comes to dealing with sibling arguments. So in this guide, I share with you 5 tips to help your tween or teen children have productive arguments, boundaries that you might want to set for your children so they can have productive arguments. And these are boundaries that I have set for my own children, so I'm sharing them with you. And wise statements like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, can be so detrimental for your child's future. So if you're interested in my siblings arguments guide, head over to my website at www.dryaninagomez.com/sibling arguments to request your own copy. Once again, www.dryaninagomez.com/sibling sibling arguments. So that's what I have for you this week, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.